fast tonight.
Hello!
Hello!
We're here a little early tonight.
And we're not thinking fast tonight.
Kyle's not thinking fast tonight. Welcome to Kyle's Not Thinking Fast Tonight.com.
.com.
Good old thinking fast.
Thinking fast?
I'm Ian and this is Kyle, as usual. We'll be playing some Versus System tonight.
Incorrectly, if we do it right.
Yeah. But we will probably also be discussing video games and board games and stuff if our audience shows up.
That's right.
I didn't notify them we'd be starting early, so maybe they won't show up for another 15 minutes or so. In which case we just have dead air to fill.
That's alright. It would be like the good old days, the turbulent times back before we had hordes of legions of screaming fans.
We generally had one, or we had one at least half the time.
I would go half the time.
Yeah.
I would say that.
So I'm feeling pretty good tonight. I've been kind of tired the last few nights. I'm still very tired. At Nights of Cards, that is, nights when we stream. I'm still tired, but way, way, way less tired than the last time or so we've done this.
There's a degree of poignancy to us as video game employees, the video game industry in general, I think, with the idea of like, man, I'm so glad that I'm only just really tired.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm dying. Oh,
Yep.
It's so much better.
I'm behind uploading our streams to YouTube, which I swore I'd never do again.
Yep.
But I did.
You swear weekly.
I do. Well, I've been working a lot.
You have.
It's hard to keep your promises when you're working.
Very true.
And I started playing Diablo 3 this week with a new Necromancer.
Ooh, dude,
because the new season started.
Do tells.
I don't know if I have a lot to talk about. I'm playing through
Tells.
story mode, which is kind of slow going. Put in about 3 hours so far. Necromancer is interesting, enough to make the game interesting a little bit again.
I've heard good things. I heard it's a pretty good class.
I think it's overpowered, as most expansion classes tend to be. And the flesh columns are really gross. They arted it up well.
Oh.
It's like lumpy and squishy, and it makes squishing noises when it walks. And
that would be less nauseating if not for the current Foley work of my ramen.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, what else can we discuss?
Was there anything out of Comic-Con worth stream time conversation?
I don't know. You were interested in some stuff. Comic-Con has gone completely under my radar.
Well, kind of. I mean, I called out the things which I thought were most exciting earlier, but for the sake of the stream, the two things that I found most fascinating were The Shape of Water, which is I am completely convinced it is a Hellboy prequel. Though it is
I
not
agree.
making any claims.
That seems right.
It's gotta be. But I actually really like that there was no mention of that at any point. That it is being billed as a standalone film.
And it may yet be. I mean, it's not impossible.
That's
but
true.
It sure looks like a Hellboy movie.
Sure looks like a Hellboy movie. I'm telling you, the records combined with the eggs, combined with the creature design and director. I just feel like that's too much of a coincidence. But I really enjoyed the trailer. It definitely does not look like... It really looks like it's a dramatic romance film. And I love that idea, that it's going to be this... Yeah.
It's fine. I know how to operate a parfait.
But I love the idea of taking a dramatic... Like, it's one of the reasons... The other trailer I want to talk about was Bright, which looks absolutely amazing. And they share something in common.
Before you get too far in, let me make a suggestion. Since our regular audience isn't here yet, what if tonight we kick off with a game of our system and then we do our usual breakdown of things to discuss between our first and second game, and we can even explain that to people if they show up in our chat.
I'm on board.
So have you selected decks?
Well, this deck I just picked up is an A deck.
We didn't play A last week. I don't remember prior weeks. I think we've been neglecting A's a little bit. Shall we play an A deck?
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright. I will pick my next deck from my handy dandy little chart here. it is... Aw, this deck.
And everybody was sadder, and I don't even know what deck it is.
A deck I'm considering augmenting to make a little more effective, because right now it's interesting but not very effective.
Right.
And I don't think it will be less interesting if I augment it, but I'm not sure. I may feel guilty about it. I guess we'll find out together. Should I ever do that, I suppose.
That is so. We'll find out as one big happy family. Alrighty. Sorry, just had to step up to acquire some napkins. I'm going to move the ramen over here. Make sure we're good on mine.
Geez, I hope our folks are coming tonight.
Well, if they're not, they'll be missing amazing things.
That's true. I wanted to talk more about Ashes.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
We did play.
I don't have much to say. I think you have a lot to say.
I could ramble some more for sure.
When they get here.
Yep.
I wanted to mention to them, I'll give you a little preview.
Yeah.
Our YouTube viewers a preview.
Yep.
I wanted to mention that, our second game went so long.
Yeah, that was last.
It was even longer than our first game, and they Chris and Casey were giving us shit for going long on our first game.
Yeah.
And Casey especially saying that his patrons play best of 3 in an hour, which I think is ludicrous and a lie.
Yep.
But I also wonder, like,
That seemed preposterous to me. I still
maybe,
don't get that.
maybe we're just bad at card games.
Maybe we're just terrible card game players. Maybe we are rank immatures. I mean, it is to be expected that after 2 to 4 games, which I think is our spectrum of experience, we would not be good inherently at Ashes.
True. Last game we played was I was playing Insanity and doing crazy stuff, and I didn't win anyway.
Stuff.
So you should roll off.
I will take the inner die. I did win 6 to 4. Great. The burden of choice is on me. We'll go evens. Let's just see how that works.
Well, that's not something I can keep. Easy choice.
Easy choice.
Usually they're not like super definitively good or super definitively bad. So.
But every now and again you get something like that.
They help out.
I'm gonna orient my cards just a little bit differently while I am eating.
This is actually a pretty good start to this deck. Let's see if I can make it work. You went evens, huh?
I did. I'm gonna keep. Let's see how this goes, guys.
I'll let you finish your draw before I do my thing.
Yeah, I have concluded.
I'm going to recruit Apex. When Apex comes into play, you may search your deck for an equipment card, reveal it, and put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. Sadly, this means the hand that was definitively bad, that I put on the bottom of my deck, is now going to get shuffled into my deck. That's okay. So I'm going to go search for a Titan's Communicator, but I'm not going to equip it to Apex. I was just revealing it. Do I have to equip it to Apex? Maybe I do.
I don't
Put it in your hand.
Yeah. You got to reveal it, but you don't have to equip it.
So I have a Titan's Communicator in my hand. I don't have enough cards. I think I failed to draw. Right?
Well, it's no less random. Well, no, it's slightly less random because you shuffle in your. You got to do
I apologize.
it. Draw your cards. It's okay. Okay.
Wow. That's not tired tonight, folks. I swear. Anyway, so I played Apex and went and got a thing.
Okay, I'm going to put down a resource, and then I'm going to recruit Remram. Remram has the version Acolyte. He says when you recruit Remram, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You may put one revealed Reservist Reservist card into your hand, and the remaining on the bottom of your deck. I'll take this one. And the remaining are on the bottom of my deck. That's cool.
Well, I'll be passing.
Attack you for 1. I'm gonna get you, Apex. No monkeying around here.
Haha.
Indeed.
Was it last week when we were playing Ashes that you recruited a character I thought was a monkey and was not a monkey, or was that the previous week? That was an amusing situation.
I honestly don't recall. Those 2 cards are not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Definitely not what I wanted.
Yep.
I'm going to recruit the Kleinstock brothers. They're a 1-cost
good old
character.
Kleinstock brothers.
Yeah, they're 2/1. I can reveal a face-down resource named Kleinstock brothers. And then they get +2 attack this attack. I can only use this power once per turn. That is all.
I will be recruiting Pyro. I may activate Pyro, and then target player loses 3 endurance.
I'm going to attack Apex.
We'll take 1. I'm going to pass.
I will attack Pyro for 2. Get him, Kleinstock brothers. Get him. Rawr, says the Kleinstock brothers.
I'm going to power up Pyro.
I expected that. In response, I will do nothing. I'll take 1.
I got lucky. Well, boy, I guess I gotta attack.
It's real tempting. I'll take another 1.
Wow. That was lucky.
I'll pass.
Oh, hey, Casey's here.
Welcome, Casey.
Quick Twitch notification didn't go out, he says.
Surprise.
I
think I'm gonna lose Rembrandt.
I guess I'll keep Apex. There's a reason for that.
Is there? Is there
reason for
really?
everything? What a weird situation.
I hear that.
I'm going to recruit Madam Webb, who I will read in a moment. I think that might be it for now. That's interesting. Madam Webb's power is whenever a Spider Friends character I control uses an activated power, gain 2 endurance. There is maybe a reason I want to do that. It's so lame. So lame. I'm going to put a Titan's Communicator on Pyro. Titan's Communicator has equipped character gets +1 defense, has range, and gains the Teen Titans affiliation. That character gets an additional +1 defense if it has Cosmic.
It's getting weird.
And then I'm going to reveal 31st Century Metropolis as an additional cost to flip 31st Century Metropolis. Choose up to 2 team affiliations among characters you control. I will choose Team Titans and Spider Friends.
What is happening right now?
Cross over the chosen affiliations. Also activate. Target character you control gains the chosen affiliations this turn.
I have no one.
Oh my. Are you having issues?
I mean, clearly that wasn't good.
This deck doesn't do a 10, so maybe it's okay.
I guess we'll see. Do you all ever have the Kleinstock brothers?
Yep. Yep. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate Madam Web to look at the top 2 cards of my deck.
Yes.
And I may put them into my KO pot.
I'm ready.
I cannot. They are not good, though.
No.
Then I'm going to activate Pyro, and you are going to lose 3 endurance. And I'm going to gain 2 endurance. And then I'm going to pass.
I mean, I'm going to attack Madam Web.
I will activate to give Apex the team affiliations, Teen Titans, and Spider Friends.
Yeah.
And then I will reinforce Madam Web.
And I take 1.
I will take 3 from that.
What the hell was my life at? I have 40. Was anyone paying attention there?
I wasn't.
Cool.
I'll trust you.
I'm not sure I do, but that's thoughtful. I think that's right. I took 2 from Pyro.
So the only damage I've dealt you is stunning your character's last turn and pinging you this turn.
So you've also sent him said it's 3, and his ping is 3 or 2.
3.
Okay, so this is correct.
All right, good, we got it.
Excellent. All right, it is technically back to you. You pass.
I will pass. Yeah. So Casey, while we're setting up for next turn, I will inform you that we started a little early tonight, so we opted to kick off a game while we waited for our adoring fans to show up before we talked about interesting things like Ashes and Comic-Con and what have you.
Yeah, so we just decided to get right into it, that's for sure.
But we can do that between our games. If Chris shows, we can do it between our games if Chris doesn't show.
Also true. Now, however, it is for me to have initiative. I do have a 4-drop. I'm going to recruit Anne-Marie Cortez, the famous Anne-Marie Cortez. She has at the start of the combat phase, the one and only, in fact. At the start of the combat phase, you may reveal a resource. If you reveal a character card, your opponents cannot play plot twists. Cost equal to that card's cost of this phase.
At the start of the what?
Combat phase.
I'm going to reveal that I have Training Day. Which is an ongoing plot twist that says, free, choose 2 different team affiliations among characters you control. Cross over those affiliations this turn, use only once per turn. During the build phase.
During the build phase.
When I am certain that I can. And then I'll be recruiting Volcana. Or perhaps Volcana.
Perhaps Volcana.
Whose power is activate, target player loses 3 endurance. And I think I'm going to form like this.
Right. Right. It's a clever plan. If I do that thing, we'll do that thing. And I will not like that. Boopy boop doo.
Good old boopy boop doo.
I think.
Therefore,
I attack Volcana.
Okay.
We will be stunned currently. Oh, at the start of the combat phase, I May, but I'll do it before I declare the attack. I'll reveal a. I should do it. I will reveal a cost 3 character.
Okay.
So you can have a plot twist with the cost of 3. Then I'm going to attack Volcano.
3 is an odd number to choose.
Yep.
Most plot twists are 2 or 1, I think. Right?
Sure.
Well, I'm going to activate so that you lose 3 endurance and I gain 2.
Yeah, seems a good play.
Then I'm going to be stunned.
That's true. I will also be stunned.
I'm going to take a point of breakthrough and then also another point of breakthrough.
I think that is sound math.
So
I will be stunned but take no points of breakthrough.
I'm actually going to take 4. I think I'm going to attack the Kleinstock brothers with Pyro.
With Pyro?
Yes.
With Pyro?
Yes.
You're attacking the Kleinstock brothers.
I think.
With
Did I say that right? Kleinstock?
Kleinstock?
Yeah.
That
You don't
seems
even
right.
know.
I think it's Kleinstock. Man, they are a terrifying group. The flavor text is when the Kleinstocks fuse together, they fight with a single mind, and that's just really creepy. I am going to reveal the Kleinstock brothers to give myself +2 attack. This attack, I may only do that once per turn, so I'm a 4-1 at the moment.
Yep. That'll work.
And I'm going to take the damage, which is 2 plus an additional breakthrough. No, you are just dealing 2. Is that correct?
Then, assuming you pass the rest of the way,
I will be passing.
Apex is going to attack you for 1. Oh, sorry, there's something in my throat.
No worries.
Apex is going to attack you for 1.
Yes.
And then I'm going to activate Madam Web to look at the top 2 cards of my deck and maybe KO them. Maybe KO them.
But maybe you'll KO them. Do you get to make the selection of each individually?
I don't think so. With up 2 cards of target player's deck, you may put those cards in that player's KO'd pile or return them to the top of his deck in any order. So, no.
Yep.
Hey, Chris is here. Time zones suck. Yeah, they sure do.
Boy, he nailed that one.
Man. Like...
One of those, I bet it's great.
It's like... My next turn wasn't looking to be so hot. This could make it better. Or you could throw it and try for something really good.
I mean...
I think maybe I gotta keep it.
You gotta keep them. So they go on top of your deck.
They go on top of my deck, but then I'll draw them momentarily.
That's fine.
But I did gain 2 endurance from that.
But that's true. That is true.
And I will be recovering Volcana, or Volcana.
And I will be recovering Kleinstock or Kleinstock brothers.
I don't think you will.
And by that I mean putting them in my KO'd pile. And recovering the one and only Anne-Marie Cortez.
Man, I can never get this deck. Like, this is the key drop. I keep missing it. Here's my initiative, though. That's something.
It's true. You are correct about that statement that you have made.
God, what even?
What even?
So I'm going to recruit Pyro. And I'm going to recruit Dagger. Dagger's power is activate. Target player loses 1 endurance for each card in his hand. Uses power only during your attack step.
I lose an endurance for every card in my hand.
Yep.
I sure don't like that. I have a lot of cards.
I'm gonna do.
Might affect the resource I put down, and that's very strange.
Like that.
advantage. She's going to hurt a lot. I am not ecstatic about that. I will recruit. I'm not happy about that. You're going to force me to start doing weird things, and I don't like it.
Excellent.
Oh. No, brown cow.
How now, indeed.
I sure wanted to do that thing.
Yep, I know.
You do have a lot of life.
You also have not an insignificant amount of life.
When can she fire her power? Anytime during the
She can only do it during my attack step.
Right.
Everybody else is whenever.
Well, then you don't have great stats, but
You don't have great stats.
I think I recruit Polaris. Polaris has flight and range. She's a 9/9. She has replaced reservist resource you control. Characters you control have flight this turn, and characters your opponents control lose flight this turn. But it doesn't say lose and cannot have. Use this power only once per turn. And I do have 6 cards in my hand.
Alright, let us enter the combat phase.
Yes, let us do that.
Do you want to do your thing that happens when we enter the combat phase?
I should do it. I'm RBL. We're calling Stock Brothers.
1.
1 is correct. I did not do them before because I thought they would be more valuable as a surprise.
Okay. I will be playing Pleasant Distraction, which I may do only during my attack step, and it costs 2. Target character can attack this turn. I will choose Polaris.
That's mean. Wow, that's really useful in this situation. Very good.
And then I will activate to ping you for 3 and gain 2 endurance. I'm sorry, I have to actually give her one of the affiliations that's relevant. I will make her a Teen Titan and a Spider Friends. And then I will activate Dagger to ping you for the number of cards in your hand and gain 2 endurance.
6. Oh.
Now I'm gonna pass.
Yep. So I only can attack you. With Anne-Marie Cortez. I forget what the ruling was on this.
Uh-oh. Well, Chris is here.
Chris is here. So this card is Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Play Shake, Rattle, and Roll only if you control a Brotherhood character. As an additional cost to play it, replace a face-up resource you control. I think
we decided it could target itself.
I think it could. This is so I'm going to replace itself, and I'm going to also replace a face-up target location. I will choose your location.
Oh, that's a very useful location. That is a very useful location.
And hopefully, I won't give you that one card again. Hold on. So you can get to look at that. That's the one that. Right. So what did you team up with us, or are they all teamed up right now? Because that effect would still last for the turn, right? Or is the crossover...
Yes. So, well, let me think.
You're going to have to think. The core crossover.
So the crossover is gone.
But something is still in effect.
However, Volcana has Teen Titans and Spider Friends team affiliation.
Right. So, assuming you do not have another team up.
I do have another team up.
Alright, and what is your other team up teamed up?
Nothing. Its power is free. Choose 2 team affiliations from among characters you control. Cross over those team affiliations this turn. Use only once per turn.
So you still have a reinforce. Interesting. So then I just have to go for the most damage. Which is Dagger.
I will free give her. I will give Pyro the Spider Friends capability. And I will reinforce Dagger.
Yeah.
Or I guess I will cross over Brotherhood and
yes.
Spider Friends, which is...
I follow the general logic and agree with the outcome.
And then I'm going to look at 2 cards and throw them out, or maybe not, and gain 2 life.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think I got to throw these out. But it's interesting.
Indeed.
That's the reason not to. Do I not do because of that? Really? Really? That's super dumb. Alright, I'm not throwing them out. But I do gain 2 life.
Thank you, Chris, for the confirmation there.
Crud on my glasses again. Yeah, so that's it. Apex ain't gonna do anything.
Can't do anything with Polaris. You jerk.
I will recover Dagger. How am I doing? Half dead, huh?
Well, Dagger's a big swing. I gotta ditch cards. You got 3 of your fingers.
Not too long before I'm not gonna be able to
stall.
Stop your attacking me anymore.
Yeah, well, that's pretty important. I really need you to not do that.
Hey, it's those cards that I left on top of my deck.
Cool.
What are the odds?
Sucks. I think it's to do this a very specific way, and that's annoying. Okay. I am going to recruit Harry Delgado. Harry Delgado has replaced a reservist resource you control. And target non-defending character loses reinforcement and cannot have reinforcement this turn.
Uh-oh.
Use this power only once per turn. So I have to do that before I declare my attack. Because it is target non-defending character.
I'm going to reveal that I have another training day.
That does something.
That's the team up. That's the on-demand team up. Then I will recruit Merlin and a Titan's Communicator. Merlin's power is activate. Target player loses 5 endurance.
That sucks. Titan's Communicator is 1 defense and what?
Titan's Affiliation. Yep.
Anything else?
That's it. It might have range, actually.
I think it does have range, but that's okay.
Range, right, and it gets bigger if it's cosmic.
Huh. It's kind of annoying because Dagger, as awful as she is only 1 more damage against me than Merlin. Merlin can fire his power at any time.
Yep.
So if I attack Merlin, you can fire his power, which means I need to go after Dagger because I can actually stop her from firing her power. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to replace a reservist resource I control. The characters I control have flight this turn. All your dudes will lose flight, though they can get it again. I'm going to replace... Oh, let's start at the combat phase. I'll reveal 1. I'm going to start with that. Then I will replace a reservist resource I control. I choose Uniscion to give myself flight. Then, I'm going to replace a reservist resource I control. I'll choose this measly 1-drop Remoram. And when doing that, I will strip reinforcement from someone. But who? My attack against Dagger is actually not that huge. If I'm using Anne-Marie Cortez, which is exceptionally likely. So that means I should strip reinforcement from someone else. I suppose I could wait on that.
It's true, but you can't choose who's the defender.
Correct. So once an attack is started, I can't pick that character. Let's say I wait on picking a target for this. I can't do it during an attack, but I'm going to attack Dagger with Android Cortez.
Yep. Yep.
As printed. I got one chance, but it's a long shot. Boy, it's a long shot. Is interesting. It's gonna be interesting. We got some nutty stuff I'm gonna have to do, I guess.
I think the right thing to do is to take it.
Sure. Could well be so.
Which is 7.
It's a little sad.
Hmm?
It's a little sad.
7. It was 7.
It was 7. It's a little 7.
It's exactly 7.
Well, 7, 8, 9.
Got a team attack your 6-drop, which is dumb. This is not what my deck does.
Yeah.
But I think it helps.
Alright, so at this point I will fire his power. And I will do it against Madam Web. I'm not going to be able to stop that. That is enough attack. I'm 2 over Merlin. I'm a lot over Volcana. I'm going to try for Merlin. I got to do it. I do take 6. I'm in 19. Does anything else transpire at this time, or can you fire any of your powers at any time? I guess you could wait. Are you waiting to do the things, or are you?
Yeah. I assume you're going to attack Madam Web.
That is correct. Polaris will attack Madam Web.
In which case, I will team up Brotherhood and Spider Friends and ping you for 3 and gain 2, and look at the top 2 guys in my deck and gain 2.
Ping me for 3 and gain 2. The team up is what allows you to gain the life.
Her power is whenever a Spider Friends character activates.
Gotcha.
Uses an activated ability.
Gotcha. So you have to make him Spider Friends so that his power will trigger life. Understood.
So that's a life gain. I'm going to lose a bunch in a minute. You're pinged. Do your ping.
I am pinged for 3. Yep.
I think, let me see. I think I'm going to throw these out. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Your attack is 9.
Yeah.
So I will take from that 11. Boy, that's a lot.
It's a big hit. It needs to be.
I think it's the right choice. As though it were a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's that.
Alrighty, it is back to you. You do have Apex.
You ain't gonna do anything?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Weird. I am going to keep Harry Delgado.
That was your initiative, though.
It was my initiative. That's going to matter.
Your initiative next turn.
I don't know what to do now. Things just got really complicated. I guess you got initiative. I can wait and see what you do. It could affect me. It's so weird. It's weird. So many cards in my hand. It's terrible.
To recruit Madam Web and the Golden Archer. My formation, I will have to think about a bit. The Golden Archer's powers activate. Target opponent loses 6 endurance, then gains 1 endurance for each card in my hand.
Is that currently as few as I think it is?
It is 0.
Dead this turn. I only hope you will be more dead.
I hope, yeah, that.
The opposite of that?
Yeah, something. Something like that.
Yep. If you just try to ping me to death, how much damage would I take? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 17. But it would take every character. Interesting. Are you formed?
Yep.
I'm going to recruit Fabian Cortez. Fabian Cortez is a reservist, so I'm going to take a card from my hand. His leader power is going to be very important. Whenever a character adjacent to Fabian Cortez causes breakthrough while attacking a character, that character's controller loses endurance equal to that character's cost.
Holy cow, that's a lot.
Mathed this, but his presence will at least make it interesting. You will have to be very careful. There's a lot of, depending on what plot twists you have, and there's 4 cards you have, one which is one of mine.
What plot twists do
I know you don't have a ton of options. Because you don't have cards in your hand.
I could have played this. I really should have.
Huh. It does concern me that I keep giving you cards you could have used. When do you
how disastrous would it be if we could rewind this?
How far are we going?
Because it will be hilarious. Beginning of the turn.
Prior to recruitment?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. If you can act like you don't know I've got Cortez, which
sure,
may
yeah,
not affect
totally.
you. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it. I will unrecruit my characters and you unrecruit yours. Oops, not
He's technically in my resource row, but I'm just going to
Madam Web. Okay.
Do you think I had you if you did not do the thing, or do you need to do the thing for the sake of novelty?
Probably I need to do the thing for the sake of novelty.
Oh, that's fair enough. Either way, I suppose it's worth it.
I'm going to play Sovereign Superior. As an additional cost... Oh, no, I can't do it. I thought it said only play it if you control a Brotherhood character.
Well, I'm slightly disappointed. I'm sorry.
I have a Brotherhood character. I don't have one to discard.
Oh, that's true. That's funny. Then let us assume that things went as they did.
Yeah. Which is like that. I think I threw out a Pyro, too.
That would be somewhat sad. But it's not like you could have foreseen me giving you
no.
It's
funny when you get to use your opponent's bot.
It's
especially
really
the ones that are team stamped.
Well, it's actually terrifying with this deck because I know I'm giving you, because all my stuff is reservist, I'm giving you stuff to recruit because the Brotherhood's a bunch of traitors. Nonetheless, it is your initiative.
Sorry, yeah, my initiative. Jeez. I think you do have me. It's going to be hard for you not to have me. I will attack your 4-drop with Merlin.
That's the obvious play. I think, as you may have already deduced, it's probably better for me to not reinforce. Your attack is 12, 5 breakthrough. It's a tough call. If I can deal breakthrough with Polaris, she's worth 5 damage against you, plus whatever the stun is, which is pretty nice. I am going to be pretty negative. You're going to gain some life. You're going to gain some life. You're going to gain 6 life.
Maybe.
It's likely. Not certain, but likely. And I'm going to take an additional 12. Oh. Still think the right choice is to take that hit. Is there anything I can do to soften that? Maybe there is. Maybe there is.
You have started the combat phase stuff.
I do. I should do that. I think it's going to be 1 again, but I'll double check. I will again reveal the Clydesdale Brothers. That's just this one.
No, I thought you replaced one of those.
I did not. I replaced a Remran. It was also a cost 1. So yes, you cannot play plot twists with the cost 1. I don't know if you have any of those in your deck, but maybe you do.
I might have some in my hand.
But maybe you do. So I think I'm going to do something silly to just mitigate damage because I don't think my stuff is useful in other ways. So I am going to play Alter Density. Alter Density says if I control 4 or more face-down resources, target attacker or defender you control gets +2 defense this attack. Well, then do that again. And again.
Holy cow.
And then... So that's 6.
So I'm not actually...
You're not stunning me.
Well, that's a scoop.
I did not do that math. Woohoo! That was just all done to soak damage. I hadn't actually run the defense. Sorry that got less interesting.
No, you're not.
I
just said woohoo! You're a fucking liar. Oh, pardon me. You're a friggin' liar.
That's right. I can have mixed feelings. I really hadn't run them out the whole time. I'm like, I just need to take 6 less damage. It had not occurred to me that that would actually stop the attack. Or that you didn't have anything else. Unless you had a cost 1 something that I thwarted.
Let me see. I want to see if I could have played that.
The search?
I think I could have gotten my 7 drop. He's not reservist. So what could I have gotten? What's the best thing I could have gotten? My big guys aren't reservist. So it was probably not to my advantage.
My playset, for what it was worth, was going to be Polaris going after Madam Web with no reinforcement.
It doesn't. There was. I don't think I had any shot at getting through that turn.
Yeah, you had so much life advantage because you were going to deal. If I didn't reinforce,
you removed my team up. So I only get 2 team ups that turn, and I need to use them for the reinforcement.
Right.
Which means I can't use them to gain life.
Right. Yeah, I guess
destroying
it's true.
team up is so powerful.
Well, I mean, you had 2 team ups, but I guess both of them were. Are the other ones one-offs or one affiliation to one affiliation?
When you replace my 1 team up, I lost Titans more or less forever.
Unless you... Can the other one not target Titans?
Well, it can, but I don't have any Titans.
Oh, and are like some of your plot twist Titans stamped? Oh, that I had not realized.
Well, I haven't seen one in forever, so I'm not even sure they're still in here. There should be some. I swear. Yeah, there's one. Anyway. I don't have team affiliation matches, so I need to stay teamed up.
Right.
I mean, I could have drawn more team-ups, too.
It's funny, I mean, because you had 2 other team-ups, it never occurred to me that was, like, I'm like, aha, this will be a great blow to you, and then you flipped up another team-up the next turn, like, you got 2 team-ups. What I did didn't actually matter, but it didn't occur to me that it
the ongoings aren't permanent team-ups, though,
right.
That's the problem.
Well, they're free every turn.
Emergency team-ups.
Right. I guess, in a normal team-up deck, you having 2 emergency team-ups would cover probably all the situations. But in a deck built around, I have 8 affiliations. I suppose every team-up I eliminate really matters. I think the last time this deck was played, it was handily mashed by something, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, it never occurred to me that I was thwarting plot twist usage.
Well, I didn't have any of them.
Sure.
But it's also, that location is also an on-demand team-up.
Right.
So I went from 3 reinforces a turn to 2, and that mattered when you had 4 characters.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. That's true when you get up to 4. I think I'm going to play this deck. This deck
Did you want to, since we're between games, as
yes.
we promised...
Oh, yeah, we could chat a little. We could banter.
Did you want to talk to Chris and Casey about our stuff?
We could. So Ashes was one topic, as we played a second game of Ashes. Was there anything else that was on the agenda?
Nothing pressing, I don't think.
Sure. So we played a second game of Ashes.
Yeah.
If I may prod the salt a little, my new description of Ashes is it's the game that Ian complains about constantly and then wins.
2 hours and 20 minutes, Chris, to answer your question. Longer than our first game.
Was it really that long? It was a long game. It started off seeming like it was going... Like, I felt like the first few turns actually went quickly, and then it just totally ground down to super slow play.
So when Casey says that he has patrons who play best of 3 in an hour, I think he's lying.
Yeah.
And if he's not lying, I don't understand it.
Yeah, there is something weird. Like, there might be... Maybe the life totals are supposed to be divided by 3, for example. That might get it down to 20 minutes. But, yeah, it was...
Well, okay. Counter-argument, in that particular game, you had pretty much determined you were going to lose a few turns in.
I did.
I had not. So
That's
maybe with more experience you would have conceded?
Maybe. I felt like I was fighting a losing battle and couldn't figure out what to do about it. So it's one of those things where
I've played it 4 times, sir. I should be a pro by now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's hard to play a game repeatedly if it takes 2 hours.
Yeah,
that's part of the problem. It's going to take a
lot of. Yeah, it's funny. There was a whole new mechanics that I introduced in the current game that I'm working on that was all based around getting people to iterate down on faster times, and it worked. I was super happy. We validated. Like, I changed a whole system set.
Keep yakking. I'm going to get some water.
Yeah, no worries. But the contemplation of, like, I don't know what we're doing. It seems like the number of options is so long. The number of permutations. I continue to enjoy the game, despite the fact I got a little frustrated in that last one. It is worth noting that though we played again, we did play different decks, so we were feeling out new decks rather than replaying ones we had familiarity with.
I think Casey stopped paying attention.
That's fine. You chime in if warranted. I played Voodoo Lady, and Ian played Rhino Stompy.
Good old Rhino Stompy.
And yeah, the basic course of that game was the first 3 or 4 turns.
Should we wait for him to get back, I wonder?
We could save it. Have another bite of this. I mean, if we're not going to talk, we should play another game.
Sure. I don't know if Chris will make it through another game, though.
I blame the time difference.
Yeah, no. Then we can talk without him. What tier of deck is that?
It's locked as an S deck.
Where's my marker? I have a Sharpie.
Nope.
I just used it.
Nope.
No, I didn't.
Yep.
Did I lose my Sharpie?
There's a pen here if you want a pen. I know
That's
it's not the same.
a Sharpie.
That's true, you're correct.
What happened to my Sharpie? I'm sad. Oh, there it is.
Sharpie!
Right on the side.
Maybe that was from tipping the box.
Maybe.
So
it sounds like he won't rejoin us, so...
Yeah, we can ramble a little, but the course of the game was, I felt like I worked really, really hard for every squeaking point of damage.
Well, okay. No.
Oh, no, this was my perception.
Wait. So first thing that happened is I spent a lot of resources, as the Stampy Rhino guy does, to recruit a character on turn 1, and Kyle returned him to my hand.
Yeah, felt so powerful.
I felt so disadvantaged by that one play.
It felt like a powerful play.
And I spent a lot of effort on that one turn just to feel like I wasn't already going to lose the game.
Yep. No, I mean, I actually think...
Now proceed with your complaint.
Well, yeah, and actually...
You can't overlook the setup there.
The verbal exchange that occurred was something along the lines of, we actually contemplated whether it was worth still going because it seemed like I had such an advantage. And I mean, we ultimately both kind of concluded, well, let's play it out and see what happens.
I was able to expend a lot of resources in weird ways to kind of make up for it.
Right.
So it went from a devastating play to kind of a mediocre start.
Right. And then I think and then the following series of turns was me trying to find every way imaginable to try and get damage on Ian's Phoenixborn while maintaining some semblance of board position. But really, I was focusing on the Phoenixborn. I was doing everything I could to get damage at the Phoenixborn. And I got like 4 to 6 damage your way, and then you crossed critical mass and killed me in 2 turns. And I never dealt another point. So you dealt
That was many turns later, though.
Yeah, I mean, the whole game was probably...
7 probably turns?
Yeah, so it was like, there was that one turn that was a big swing, and then a staggering amount of effort to deal you 5 damage, and then I couldn't do anything for 2 turns because you just built up giant rhinos and stomped me. And I had no defenses. I felt like there was absolutely nothing I could do. in every instance of, oh, I can summon a couple of blockers, anytime that was a thing that I could have done, what immediately would have transpired is you would have then crushed the blockers, we would have gone to next turn, and you would have actually had more units, and you could have just bum rushed me at any point. So there just never seemed to be anything I could do to overcome those creatures. Now,
well, Casey, we do play card games for several hours a week.
This is true. Just not that, admittedly, not that specific one. Yeah. Well, that one we played for a couple hours.
And also, we make games for a living. Kyle more so than I in a design capacity.
Yep,
so
that's true.
You can't tell us not to be us.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have our credentials, for better or worse. But yeah, it was very strange. And one of the other things I will add is there was a perception, and you complained about, I think rightfully so, you complained about this. But it always seemed like I was getting slightly better rolls than you. The whole game, and it didn't matter. And I never felt like it mattered, because I felt like I never had enough to do what I needed. Now, maybe that's just deck construction, but most turns was like, boy, I sure wish I had more than 3 knives. And so other dice being good didn't make up for the fact I was missing my ceremonial knives, which, by the way, was also my experience in the first game. It was I never had enough ceremonial knives specifically.
You should be playing with more ceremonial knives.
That is a thing that I could attempt to do on a future playthrough.
One of our complaints, Casey, in case you missed the early part of this discussion, is we feel like it's a lot of... it's a tall order to get familiar with the game when it takes us 2 hours to get through a game. Which is maybe not the way it's supposed to play, but it's, you know, we're adults, we have jobs, we can only spend so much time a week playing this game. We like other games too.
It's true. It's tough. And I still am intrigued enough. I still want to see the other 2 decks from the starter set.
We're not going to stop. We're just, it's something, we are playing it at both you, Casey, and you, Chris's recommendation.
Yep.
So we're talking about it on stream.
Yep. I mean, the alternative is we could continue to play it for a month and we won't ever talk about it. But the honest impressions are what they are. And I still continue to be intrigued by a lot of the mechanics. The only other thing that I did actually want to call out is you were right, and I was disappointed that the Phoenix Borns weren't more significant. On my second playthrough, I really looked at what they contributed, and I had assumed they contributed a little bit more to the deck construction and the requirements of the deck, and they don't really. So they add very little flavor and feel meaningless. And they have like one central power, which isn't completely meaningless, but one of the things that I'd really liked about it was there was this idea I built up in my head that it's like the battle between these 2 characters, and you get to feel it. And really, they're about as generic as you are in Magic the Gathering.
A little less generic. Slightly less generic.
But it's slight. And like I felt like that was such a missed opportunity, because the idea of, in Magic, you're this faceless avatar, and they're like a skin in Magic the Gathering.
They added Planeswalkers to address that, right? And I don't even know anything about Magic.
They sort of did.
But to answer Casey's question here, how I've described this game to my friends who have not even seen or experienced it, you should roll before you make a judgment, is that I think one of the design philosophies behind the game, and I like a lot of the design philosophy behind it.
Outer.
I think all of the choices made are good choices. Yeah. I will be going evens. But one of the design philosophies of this game is to design the mechanics in a way so that every disadvantage you are able to mitigate at every moment. Which makes you feel like you're not disadvantaged at any time, but it also means that at any moment you have a tremendous number of things you can choose to do.
Right.
It's analysis paralysis is what it is. It's like at any moment, like any turn, I can do literally one of 10 things, sometimes more.
Well, I mean, they're expert impressions, but they're also not absolute. I mean, when you review a subjective medium, I mean, our views are no more credentialed than... I would actually argue that our views are probably more credentialed than a movie reviewer who critiques movies, in a sense. It'd be like Steven Spielberg critiquing a movie. We're the Spielbergs. That sounds way more pretentious than I had intended. But we are industry people reviewing industry content, or providing commentary on it. So it's not quite the same as... someone without experience, but I agree that it's a subjective medium.
What do I do with it? Yeah, none of us are saying our opinion, our discussion. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's way fiddlier than any CCG I've played.
Well, and you know, that's again, that's not necessarily...
I'm not like an order of magnitude, but I'd say Twice as fiddly. Easy. Oh, this is... I don't know what to do with this, Carl.
I forget. Did you go odds or evens?
I went evens.
Okay. So that means I get to tell you I don't have anything for
There's some really friggin'... Well, you shouldn't tell me before I decide.
I thought you were deciding to recruit. Might be. Maybe I have something.
Some really good stuff in here. Oh, man. Why? I wish you didn't say it.
Sorry.
I can't not think about it. I'd really like to be able to, you know?
Yeah, that's funny. I really thought you were contemplating what to recruit.
Oh, he's not going to recruit. I can kind of make this work, which means I should throw it away.
Sure.
If I'm considering the information to guide a decision, I will purposely make the other decision.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something novel that we're providing impressions, but people love to debate this stuff. It is novel, like when you provide an impression or a review of something. And back when I did the movie reviews, stuff like everyone felt the need to tell me whether or not they agreed or disagreed with my opinion, and it's like, oh, it's a review, it's not absolute. Like it's an art form. You go to art gallery, you might say, I like.
You have no one.
It turns out I have no one to recruit on turn one.
I've got Mr. Winslow Shote, who is Toyman, and his power is vengeance. And whenever Winslow Shote becomes stunned, he may put target card from a KO'd pile on top of its owner's deck.
Cool. I'll pass.
He'll attack you for 2.
What?
Not going well.
Well, it's your initiative.
I will not be recruiting anyone.
Me neither.
Oh boy.
It's okay. It's alright.
I'll attack you for 2.
I will accept.
Huh. What?
Deck does have some rude stuff. There's a reason this one is S. I don't know how it will alter. So this is my initiative now, which is cool.
It's cool. It's cool.
I have Siren. Siren is a 3-cost character. He says, whenever Siren attacks a defender, exhaust a target character adjacent to that defender. She's a 5/4 with flight and range.
I don't know anybody.
I'll attack you for 5.
I will take 5.
Sweet, I done it.
And I will put.
Ta-da!
I might actually be able to do something.
What?
That's not a good plan.
No, it's a terrible plan.
I will take 5.
You want to do things so that you can fire Winslow Shote's power.
Why this draw? Why this draw, Kyle? Why this draw?
I think I am nearing the most. I think this is the most annoying S-class character that I have in Versus. No character more annoying to you than this character.
Oh no! Are you gonna recruit Man Thing?
Maybe.
Are you gonna recruit Man Thing? Are you gonna recruit Man Thing?
I might recruit Man Thing.
Would you recruit Man Thing? You wouldn't recruit Man Thing, would you?
You don't know me. You don't know my Man Thing. Oh, that sounded bad. Bazing.
I'm gonna play Standoff.
Okay.
Whenever a player plays a non-ongoing plot twist, he loses 2 endurance.
You said that very strangely.
Did I?
there's a. What's the name of that one again?
Standoff.
Non was the word. It was like, whenever a player plays a non-ongoing plot twist, it's like non went on for a really long time.
Non-ongoing plot twist. My cards are weird, Kyle. My cards are weird. I want you to understand.
You're getting at something.
I'm going to recruit Metallo. God, this sucks. It's so big. Whenever Metallo becomes stunned, target opponent loses 1 endurance for each ongoing plot twist I control. I might actually put Winslow on my front row. Hang on.
I feel like we accidentally. I mean, you've only got. I guess you've got 3.5 S decks. You've got 3 S decks and then another 3 S decks that are all the outsiders. So it's not too ridiculous that we see this matchup, but we see it and it makes me a little sad for reasons which shall soon become apparent.
No, it's okay, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reveal that I have an Evil Star's Evil Clutches,
yeah.
and I'm going to return a face-down resource I control to owner's hand. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm gonna let you recruit Man Thing first.
That's fair. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna recruit Richter.
Oh, it's Richter. Oh, that's not too bad.
Richter says whenever you play a plot twist while Richter is in combat, it may replace target opposing face-up resource.
That's fine.
I accept your lack of anger towards Richter. I feel kind of uncomfortable about that, though. I'm actually terrified that you are not agitated by Richter. I think he's agitated. I do think he's kind of broken.
He would be better if it's like one, or
if he were limited to
replace
one.
any is kind of rough.
It's rough. He can replace team-ups. Like, they should have given him a couple of restrictions. He doesn't have flight or range. His stats are slightly above average, but he doesn't have flight or range, so he's always going to be a target.
Yeah, so I'm going to tag him.
Yeah, not an unreasonable choice. You doing anything else yet?
Nope.
Okay, so remind me again of what's on the board there, those 2 cards that I might try to replace.
Whenever a player plays a non-ongoing plot twist, he loses 2 endurance. Return a face-down resource you control to owner's hand. Choose a character an opponent controls. That character loses flight this turn. You may put a card from your hand face down in your resource row. Return a face-down resource you control. So if you replace something, I can technically put it in your hand and fix it with this. That's kind of fun.
Right, unless I target that specifically.
Unless you target that one, yeah.
You could put it in my hand?
I would have to. It's your card.
That's very strange. I'm confused and afraid. So I'm going to play something, which is going to get me pinged for 2. So that happens first. Which is Captive Audience. Target character gets +1 attack this turn. Boost. Exhaust a character you control. If Captive Audience is in your resource row, turn it face down.
Right.
So I now get to fire Richter's power.
Right.
And also, Siren will have +1 attack this turn. I actually think, man, I'm going to get pinged extra times for it, but I got to go after the fix-it one.
Okay, well...
So you may do stuff in response, but I'm going to target that to be replaced. It is me that does the replacing.
I'm going to return a face-down resource to my hand, and the thing, and I'm going to remove flight from Siren. Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then this gets replaced.
Mm-hmm. Would be usable. I think most of what's in here is team stamped, but I don't think all of it is.
Okay, is that it?
Currently, that is... Well, I guess I can keep doing stuff. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to do anything else yet. Let's act like that's it for now. So that attack may resolve unless you do additional things that cause me to change my mind.
Okay. So I will take... Your attack is... I'm attacking you.
You are
attacking. I was
attacking.
4.
Yep.
You will be pinged by standoff because of his vengeance power.
Right, for an additional 1.
1.
And then I take 4 and 1, so I take 5 from the attack.
And then, as an additional cost to play Death of Superman, exhaust your Revenge Squad character control. KO target stunned character. Ongoing, whenever a stunned character an opponent controls is put in the KO'd pile during the combat phase, target opponent reveals his hand and discards each card with the same name as that character. I'm gonna make you fucking do that.
So I'm gonna do a thing. It's fine. You're in that sort of mood. I'm gonna play from my hand in response to that. X-Force Reborn. This is costly, but it's definitely worth doing. Recover target stunned X-Force character you control, but lose endurance equal to twice its cost.
Ooh.
So I will pay 8 endurance to keep Richter around.
Okay.
To fizzle that KO attempt.
Okay, but it also costs you 2 from...
And it does. Yeah, true. Paying the life to keep my characters, but I think that is the right play. I assume that is the end of your attack. Your attack phase, pardon me.
Yep.
Attack. Winslow Shody. 6.
Yeah.
As I'm +1 from my thingamajig.
I'm going to take 6 from it. I'm going to put on Evil Stars, Evil Clutches on top of my deck.
Crafty. Very crafty. Oh, you might give me cards, and this is gonna be weird. This is a weird circumstance if you give me those cards. I guess I got rid of Shout, so you can only do that one more time. It is my initiative. That's cool. I am going to play. Have a choice. It's got to be Cannonball. Cannonball says, whenever you play a plot twist while Cannonball is attacking, he can't be stunned at this attack. It's a 10-8 with flight only.
Got Richter, he kind of breaks my deck.
Yeah, he's a jerk. I actually feel poorly because this, I feel like Richter impacts that deck more than any other of your S decks.
I only have
but you've only got 3. Well, that's what I was saying. Remember, I was saying at the start, like, you've only really got 3 S decks, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised that this matchup happens. But
you have Richter in another deck as well.
I think it's just this one.
I'm pretty sure you have Richter in another deck.
You only got 2 affiliations, X-Force and X-Men.
He might be in your Alpha Flame deck.
That is possible. That could be true, but that deck's seen play once.
I do this, and it doesn't even matter. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. That. What does that get? Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing. Nothing. Also, nothing.
What? Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody.
I mean, the thing. You would have to.
I would have to.
You're making this so hard.
I've got a pretty good setup. Siren's to jerk too.
I don't even know what she does anymore.
I'll read it because it matters. Whenever Siren attacks a defender, exhaust target character adjacent to that defender.
When she that's so awful.
This deck is really strong on initiative too, so me having 5 is gonna bode well.
Alright.
But 6 you will have, so we'll see.
That's so painful. Because then anything, it doesn't even matter. So that?
Is it possible that your contemplation will take long enough I can acquire a beverage, or should I hold on that?
No,
I can hold.
Alright. It's alright. I'm good.
Which is fine.
It's just terrible. Maybe not. Maybe that is the better choice, and then I have that and that. No, they're both terrible. I have no good choices. I'm really low on good choices.
You should give me that card.
It doesn't help. Especially not because you still have Richter. Man, what a terrible game this is. Unrepaired Peeus. Peeus' power is when all the characters I control are in my front row, Peeus gets +1 attack for each ongoing plot twist I control.
I'm playing Peeus. No. Oh my.
There might be an R in there, I don't know. That's terrible. This is so bad, Kyle. This is like the worst.
I'm okay.
What a situation. How did I even get here?
Oh. All other characters you can draw are in your front row. This one take me time. Okay. Well, so what we gonna do is we gonna attack Peeus with Cannonball. Peeus, pardon me. I don't know why Peeus is cracking me up. I feel like that's the sort of thing that, like, Spider-Man would call him to annoy him. I know he's DC, but it's that kind of behavior that I would expect.
So what that says to me is we're stunned.
That's true. I would have to play something. I should probably play something. But not that. I don't want to play any of those things. They're all really good and need to be used in other circumstances. So, this is going to be weird. I'm going to play Captive Audience. Give target character +1 attack this turn. I will choose Richter. And I will exhaust her as the boost to put it face down.
Cost you 2.
It does cost me 2. So, now that I have played a plot twist during combat, Cannonball may not be stunned this combat. While attacking. It's really important where my attack is not so good.
Yeah, it works. So I take 5. If you attack me directly, are you in combat? Chris?
Chris, help. Boy, I don't know. That's... You're getting weird over there.
It's probably shorthand for attacking or defending.
It could be. But if I attack you, I mean, if a character attacks you directly, they are attacking. But are you the defender?
Yep. Just gonna get taken apart. Should I even keep playing?
We don't have to.
It's not gonna be good. I mean, like, basically I'm fighting you with stats now, and these guys aren't really statty.
Yeah, it's like all your plot twists become one use. Though I haven't gotten rid of the one yet, like... Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's uphill. It's tough. You will have initiative next turn. I don't know how consoling that is or is not.
Attack Richter. Not very.
It's fair. So... Yeah. Gotta do the replace of the pinger, even though it costs me another 2. So I'll play this again. Give Richter another +1. Pay my 2 life. And then it's gonna work. So your attack is as printed.
Yep.
4s apiece.
Take 1.
Yes. So. That's interesting. Huh. That's cool, because I can do that. Not perfect, but cool. Alright.
I'm going to recruit Brainiac 2-5. Cosmic Activate KO character with cost less than or equal to the number of ongoing plot twists you control. Uses power only during your attack step.
Wonder if you can get up to 4. You probably can. Well, at least on his damage, I guess. I'm going to recruit Moonstar. Moonstar is a 1-drop. She has activate, return Moonstar to her owner's hand. Rally for a plot twist card 3 times, used only during the combat phase. I'll also recruit Hepzibah. Hepzibah is a concealed optional. I'm going to choose to make her concealed. She has, whenever a non-ongoing plot twist is played while Hepzibah is in combat, you may remove her from this attack. If you do and she was attacking, ready her.
Reveal that I have Hostile Takeover, which is ongoing Revenge Squad characters. Excuse me. KO a Revenge Squad character I control. Target character gets a -3 defense this turn. Use only once per turn. I have an Evil Star's Evil Clutches. And I have Never Ending Battle, which I may play only if I control a Revenge Squad character ongoing. Discard a plot twist card. Target attacker or defender gets -2 defense this attack.
Yep.
KO. Richter.
Well, he is gone.
I think I attack Cannonball.
Yep, that's a thing you can do. Your attack right now is +4.
Yep.
It's 11. It's a big hit. Yeah. I don't think there's not what I can do. I believe I'm going to accept, but I'm going to exhaust him to play a captive audience and target Siren, we'll say. So right now, is there anything modifying stats that I'm not aware of at the moment? Like, that is to say that he's just +4 attack, and my stats are currently not modified.
That is so.
Okay, so I will take 3 breakthrough, and if I take 8, I'm not at 12. I'm rolling in life here. You're at 21. I must get rid of your counters, so how do I do it? I think I'm going to do it again.
I'll go for the 5-drop.
Yep, it will work. Another 5, 7. Yep, I'm just gonna rally. 3 times for plot twist. 1, 2. Oh my god! Oh my god! That has never happened. Oh, this card has never been played. I don't think it'll be played this game. So I think I have to keep Cannonball. I love Hepzibah, but I think it's Cannonball. Cards. This deck is crazy. I am down in life, but I do have initiative. Okay. That one. I am going to recruit John Proudstar, Warpath. John Proudstar is a 15/15 without flight or range. He has, when you play a plot twist while he is in combat, put 2 1/1 counters on target character you control.
I can't deal with that power. I have a 7-drop, but
It's pretty nuts.
terrible game, Kyle.
I'm sorry, that was terrible.
I almost think, like, there is never a game where you play this deck where I don't feel like I've been destroyed by that character. I almost feel like you shouldn't field him anymore.
I've contemplated taking him out. I'll have to look
because that
and see what
deck
other
is
drops.
super good. Like, he's not the point of the deck.
Yeah, he's a dismantling character, for sure. And I think it's funny. He targets his opposing face of reason, so it's broad. Yeah, I think it's a byproduct of, I think all of your S decks have really critical locations and ongoing plot twists. And not all of my S decks have that, so there are S deck matchups where his power would never fire or be consequential. However, out of your 3, I think all 3 of them have some pretty critical stuff. So I can pursue and see if there's an alternative 4-drop.
We're just going to play that deck. You have so many decks.
I haven't played him in several shows. I mean, this deck hasn't seen. I think the last time it got played, it got mashed.
Well, you were playing Chris's stupid deck.
That could be so. That could be so. I think that was the last time I played him, and I hadn't played him weeks prior to that. So we do have time for a double.
Yeah, we're making good time tonight.
I did start a few minutes early, which helps.
That's true. And you're playing broken, awful decks and cheating.
Terrible, cheaty decks. I know what'll make you feel better. I'll pick this AA deck.
Oh? Is it Shadow Pact?
Maybe.
Is it Kang?
Maybe.
Is it Shadow Kang?
No, it's not that one. But that sounds great.
Is it Legion's villain, the Shadow Kang? Played my fun one last week.
Chris did conveniently confirm that direct attacks are coming. Okay,
I even paid attention to it and mentioned it.
Oh, cool. Cool. Perhaps I thought that you were providing your own evaluation and commentary, not realizing that you were reading Chris's Infinite Wisdom.
I may not have made that super clear.
The Richter deck is so interesting because the play that and another argument to take Richter out is the play that I want to make, and the reason that I think the deck is actually pretty interesting is because the whole thing is try not to use your plot twists because you want to use them all on John Proudstar, who's fucking incredible.
Right.
However...
Well, you have such that the one plot twist is so easy to recur.
That's true.
It's very inexpensive to recur.
That's true. I can get a play or 2 out of that. I always get a play a turn out of it. I don't always get 2. That is also one of the only plot twists that is not team stamped.
This is one of the few times I'm looking for a deck and struggling to find it. Is this the deck? No?
That is peculiar.
Huh. You're here somewhere.
Just take it from the top. You got this. But yeah, so like Richter is a case where I want to play plot twist just to trigger his power. I mean, all the characters in the deck have like they tempt you to spend plot twists, and some of them you need to use the plot twist to utilize their powers. So every time you make me use a plot twist that isn't that one,
you should put Man-Thing in the deck. It would be much more balanced.
Man-Thing is a 6-drop for what it's worth.
Yep. Should take out? Take out
Richter, add some more 6-drops.
Put a 6-drop in there.
A 6-drop spider friends. With no attack.
Sounds good to me. I don't know what you're laughing at.
Yep. No, I hear where you're coming from. Oh, look. I'll see if I can do something else. I do think if we were still doing enough of a rotation, I might be a little more resistant, but because it's really just you and me, and we want good matchups, and the funny thing about Richter...
Well, or, you know, we could foresee... I don't know how to fix it. Well, you're right. All 3 of my S decks have... I mean, this is probably the best one because I can still play down a resource or 2.
Right, that's true.
The others I have, like, oh, you got Kandor or my team up, and then I'm just screwed.
Right. Like, I can... Yeah, it's weird. Richter's a weird character, and he's slightly better on top of that because as a 4-drop, I'm pretty likely to be able to get to him. It's not like I'll miss him in the first 2 drops.
He has reasonably good stats. They're not great.
They're not. They're slightly above average or average. He doesn't have flight or range, but his power is amazing. It should have been gated to just once a turn. Quite frankly, that alone would have made it worth. Because one of the worst things with him is the...
Keep this in. That's crazy.
I'm going to go outer die. 3 to 2.
What are you doing?
I will go evens. Boy, there's parts of this that make me want to keep this hand.
I shouldn't have kept. Turns out,
I'm gonna ditch this, and I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure.
Chris is agreeing how awful you are.
Yeah, once turn's still pretty potent, for sure. But the key thing that it prevents me from doing...
Anarchy's here. He likes you. Whenever Anarchy attacks an exhausted character, the character can't ready this turn.
I do not have a 1-drop.
Anarchy will hit you for 2.
He will let me for 2.
This draw is very, very strange. Very strange.
Oh my god. This is also strange. Jeez. Strange. It's strange. It is my initiative. I don't have a 2-drop. Not happy about it.
I'm going to play the usual suspects. Search your deck for 2 different Arkham Inmates character cards with the same cost. Reveal them, put them in your hand, discard 2 cards at random. You'll be getting Crime Doctor over there in your resource row. And... KG Beast.
Did you also have my resource row?
Yep. And then they go into my hand.
Okay.
First your resource row, then my hand.
That's the way of things.
So
that's like what I was doing last game. I'm going to give you cards and you replace them and put them into my hand and go in your resource row first.
I had no extra ongoing plot twists. I probably would have done it.
Yep.
If I could have gotten to... I don't know, I'm doing that to you. If I could have gotten...
Because my resource row.
Maybe one more ongoing plot twist on the last turn, I might have kept it going.
Right. The combination of... Well, yeah, the combination of Richter, you not getting Atomic Skull, and me getting my Proud Star set up.
Well, Thomas, I mean, like, I had Atomic Skull. He was useless.
He is less than.
I couldn't play. There was no point I could play him and use him.
I guess that's true. Well, the only instance would have been before turn 4. That would have been.
Right. I didn't have him before turn 4.
Right. So you got him eventually, but not when he would have been more useful. It's... So what, I'm getting rid of 2?
Yeah.
One of them will be this card.
That card is Crime Doctor.
I'm happy to see him go. I hate him. The other will be this card.
That card is Firefly. KG Beast is here. He's also happy to see you here. At the start of my attack step, target player exhausts already character controls.
Yerp. Yerp.
Europe.
Europe. Yeah, that's cool. Did I already tell you don't have a 2-drop?
You did.
Cool.
I will be attacking you for 6.
Cool. I'm gonna take it. Take that 6. Boom. Boom. It took.
What? What is going on? This draw. That tells you.
That tells you. Now it is your initiative.
I know.
As opposed to that time when it was my initiative.
I'm going to play the usual suspects. Search my deck for 2 cards. This time, the cards are going to be Two-Face, I think. No. Charaxis.
No, I can Charaxis.
Did I do that wrong? Oh, maybe I'm going for 2-drops again. Or maybe I search for Charaxis and Two-Face. That's what I do. Alright. Charaxis and Two-Face.
Good lord.
I forget how to play my deck. Where did Two-Face go? Here, Two-Face.
You also forget how to search your deck, it appears.
There he is.
Alright, come on, get rid of Charaxis.
Come on, Bobby.
Come on, Bobby. Get rid of Charaxis. You can do it.
You shuffle that. I'll shuffle these.
I'm just gonna cut it. I ain't gonna shuffle. Ain't gonna do it.
It's very trusting of you.
Very trusting. I'm a very trusting man.
Tonight got kind of weird. I'm into it.
Oh, good times.
Alright, 2 cards are random.
Alright, I'm gonna pick Charaxis.
I hope not.
I'm gonna pick this card.
The card is Firefly. 4 Firefly. He does
Then
not
gonna
get
pick
to be in my hand.
that card.
That card is Charaxis.
Yes! Oh god. Sure, I'm now gonna hope you don't have more Charaxis.
Probably
Probably
the usual suspects. This time,
You're a bad man. You are a bad man.
I'm going to go get the Penguin and Crime Doctor.
I want you to know I can't even.
Okay, you shuffle these, and that's. I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna shuffle.
I will shuffle these.
I'm very trusting. What are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm recruiting.
I'm gonna pick Charaxis. No, we'll pick that card.
That card was Crime Doctor. Oh. All of the good ones you got.
I will also select this card.
Alright, let's see. It is the Penguin.
Damn it. That's
Whenever the
useful to
Penguin
you.
is discarded, you may remove from the game. If you do, return target Arkham inmate's character or card from your KO'd pile to your hand.
Aw,
That's a tough choice.
it is.
Oh
man,
I think it's Charaxis.
my track record was amazing, but then it became too good.
I want to recruit Charaxis.
Oh god, Charaxis. Charaxis, the great god-awful of existence.
The god-awful of existence.
I'm going to flip Damocles' base, activate it, and name Kang. To reveal the top 2 cards of my deck. Pardon me. If I named Kang, instead reveal the top 3. There's Growing Man, Kang, and Mech Robots. Put a revealed card with that name into your hand, and the rest of them on the bottom of your deck. Thusly and such is done. And I will recruit 1-drop Kang in my concealed area. now?
I think I hit you really hard.
Not that hard. I mean, as hard as last time. Charxes can't cause breakthrough.
Actually, I read Kang.
Sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, I should have read Kang.
You should have read Kang.
I should have read Kang.
Should I read Kang? Yeah, read Kang.
I'll read Kang. Kang is concealed. He has
Did
range.
I read Charxes? I probably didn't.
You didn't. Clearly, because you didn't even know it was on him. Do you want to go first? You go first.
All right, I recruited Charxes.
This has gotten weird.
Charxes can't cause breakthrough whenever Charxes stuns exhausted. Hang on.
Let's take it from the top, shall we? You read Charxes after you recruit him after 15 minutes.
Oh god, I can't stop laughing. Give me a second.
Take your time. I'm going to eat more of my ramen. My incredibly cold, congealed ramen.
Oh man, I nailed this. That was amazing. Charxes can't cause breakthrough. Period. New sentence. New paragraph. Whenever Charxes stuns an exhausted defender, KO that defender. Oh, God.
Give me a moment. My mouth is full of noodles and laughter.
Oh, I needed this. We haven't had a night like this in a while.
Or just something. I am going to recruit Kang. Surprise! It's one drop Kang.
Yes.
Kang is concealed. He has range. He's a 1/1. He is also not unique. I may also return Kang to his owner's hand. On target Kang Council, attacker, or defender you control gets +1/+1 this attack.
Okay. Chris, are you still with us?
Oh no. Oh no. I'm alarmed. While we wait momentarily for a response, I'm going to pour myself a beverage.
Chris is here. Okay. Can Kyle return Kang to his hand to boost Kang?
Oh my god. What is happening? Now wait a minute, you have to be clear that you do mean can Kang return to the hand to increase his Kang? Because Kang can always boost Kang. That's what he does.
Yes. Kang says, return Kang to owner's hand. Target Kang Council, attacker, or defender you control gets +1/+1 this attack.
I mean, the payment... It seems to me that the payment would happen first, and then he wouldn't have... The effect wouldn't have a valid target. That would be my guess.
But you could do the payment and... Yeah, that's what I'm stumbling over. Chris says that's the case. That it would work.
Okay.
So you target a character, the character is him, you pay the payment, you return him to your hand, the effect targets the character who is no longer a valid target and it fizzles. That kind of makes sense.
It does. It's weird.
Alright, it's good to know.
Why are you asking
Don't worry
that?
about it. Please exhaust a ready character you control.
Let me think. Any ready character.
Anyone.
I'm going to choose Kang.
Okay. Well, then I guess I have to attack you for 6.
Yep. Take it. Game is stupid. I will pass.
Me too.
I will ready Kang.
You have thwarted Charxes by not having a visible character.
It's what one must do.
Oh.
It's terrible, but it's what one must do.
What turn is it? I don't even know.
It is turn 4. It is turn 4.
It's turn 4.
Alright, so I'm going to reputerate. I think I'm going to reputerate Groaning Man. I'm also going to pay an additional resource point to give him a Framistat. I can play a Framistat for free if I want to exhaust something. Maybe I do want to do that. You know, I'm gonna declare Kang first.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Damn police base. 3-cost Kang. Spheres of Solitude. Well, I will put the Kang in my hand. I don't have to discard it. Rest on the bottom of the deck. Okay, having done that, I am going to recruit a Framostat onto Growing Man. Yes. Yes. Look at my Framostat.
You should look at your
Framostat is complicated.
To our audience.
It says, I will do both of those things. At the start of the combat phase, choose one. An equipped character gets +3 attack this turn. Or, while equipped character is defending this turn, it gets +1 defense and has reinforcement. If the equipped character is Fantastic Four, other stuff. Actually, both of those things, more accurately. I'm not sure whether or not I want it to be offensive or defensive yet.
Okay. I'm going to be recruiting Two-Face. Two-Face's power is discard a card. If that card's cost is odd, Two-Face gets +2/+2 this turn. Use only once per turn.
Right on.
I will then be playing the Hookup. To play, choose 2 different team affiliations among character control. I will choose Gotham Knights and Arkham Inmates. Ongoing crossover the chosen affiliations. Discard a Gotham Knights character card. Draw a card. Use this power only once a turn. I'm not going to use it yet.
Right. And you form like this and such?
Yep.
I'm going to choose defensive. Review that. Interesting. The stat bonus is only applied when defending. Man, that's a small-ass growing man. All your guys have way more attack than I would like. Kind of peeving. Well, I'm gonna attack Charaxus. Is that right? 5 attack. Don't get my defensive bonus. Which I said already, but I'm still surprised by for some reason. Ugh. If I don't attack Charaxus, Charaxus will attack me. Boy, this is not a good position to be in. Charaxus is so good. I must attack Charaxus. I'm going to give myself a counter.
Okay.
So I am a 5/4. I'm then going to flip up Kang Crossroads. While I control only a single visible character, it gets +1/+1. Boy, it's so bad. So I am a 6/5. I'm also going to shrink myself. So I am a 4/7. So costly. I just did so much stuff. Yep. I did save myself a lot of damage that turn. I guess I'll take that.
Oh. I should have used my power. Oh well, too late. Too late.
Not knowing to what power you refer. Okay. It is... That was my initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm going to name Kang. I did not get any Kangs. That's sad.
That's bizarre.
It's uncommon.
That's what that is. I think this is the right place. It feels so weird.
Feels so weird.
Why is it?
Feels so weird.
Alright, I'm going to recruit Catwoman.
Yeah, she big.
Do I want her? You can thing. You're gonna recruit 5-drop Kang, and then we're not gonna do anything for a while, and that's annoying.
Sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's the situation. I accept.
Yeah.
She's concealed, is what I was getting at. Her power is, whenever Catwoman stuns a defender, choose one, draw a card, or target player discards a card.
Well, I'm going to recruit 5-drop Kang.
He's jerking a butt.
He's a jerk.
In that order.
And a butt. Kang is not unique. At the start of the combat phase, if you control 6 or fewer resources, move Kang to your hidden area. Exhaust him. When exhaust, target character with a cost of 5 or less. At the start of your recovery phase, move Kang to your visible area. Before we even get to the combat phase, I'm going to exhaust Kang to put a counter to the Growing Man.
Alright.
Then, we'll enter the combat phase. He will move over here. And I will, in fact, exhaust Catwoman.
Interesting.
I will then play Spheres of Solitude on Charaxis. Spheres of Solitude says, play only if you control a Kang Council character. Choose an affiliated character an opponent controls. The chosen character loses all team affiliations during its controller's attack step.
You choose that. You chose Charaxis?
I do choose Charaxis. Also, I must now exhaust a character I control, but before I do that, I'm going to exhaust Kang to put a counter on me. Premise that will remain in defensive unless I state otherwise for the time being.
Alright. His defense is 6.
It is... Am I -1 for something?
His defense is 7.
Also, he is my only visible character, and so it's +1/1.
His defense is 8.
That is correct. For sake of argument, would you mind terribly if I had in fact formed thus and such?
Nope.
Because I should have. I don't know if that will matter, but on principle. Growing man. Does whatever growing man can.
He's a pretty big growing man. How do I deal with this?
If I were you, I'd just pass.
Let's say I was going to remove one of your characters from the game this turn.
Hypothetically speaking,
Yeah.
of course.
Would you choose Growing Man or would you choose 5-drop Kang? Chris, who would you choose if you're still here?
Who would I remove? If I had the choice of who I was going to remove, and I were also you. It's
like, Growing Man's big and he's going to get out of control, but
Kang's going to completely
getting Kang
stall you
out
for
of the
2
game
games.
kind of gives me some options.
That's true. Next turn.
Yep. More options than I have now, which is a good thing.
Well, it's hard to say. Growing Man's reasonably sizable. The things mitigating Growing Man are, if I continue to play resources, which that is not a sure thing of, eventually I'll have multiple visible characters, so he'll get -1/-1 from that. And I don't have a ton of Kangs. You've certainly encountered Growing Mans when I've had many more Kangs than I've had now fueling him. That said, he ultimately has more potential than 5-drop Kang. Because if I continue to play resources, eventually 5-drop Kang is merely stats. So the question is, how much of an edge do you want next turn?
I think the mitigating factor is I'm not confident I can get 5.
It's a pretty big factor.
Well, yeah, maybe. I'm pretty, yeah. I mean, we're going for it. All right, we're going for 5. Here we go.
There it is.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm irritated.
Part 1 is Scree.
Yeah.
Target character gets -2 defense while defending this turn and can be attacked as though it were visible this turn.
Okay.
I will choose 5-drop Kang.
What? I did not anticipate that. So I'm -2 defense and I can be attacked as though I were visible.
Correct. Then,
so far.
I will declare a team attack against 5-drop Kang with KG Beast and Two-Face.
Right.
Then, I will discard Harley Quinn, who is a 1-cost character. Since she is odd, Two-Face will get +2/+2 this turn. Then, whenever Harley Quinn is discarded, I may remove her from the game. If I do, target character gets -2 defense this turn.
So I am
-4 defense and my attack is 10.
Attack is 10. My defense is 5. And Scree, which you just played, gives me -2 of that. -2 from Scree, -2 from discarding Harlequin.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
But I still gotta think about it because I'm playing Kang. Really do not want to lose 5-cost Kang. So what is likely, though not certain, is that you then have an additional card and you will exhaust KG Beast to KO my stunned Kang.
Probably shouldn't have revealed that.
Well,
Ways you're thinking about
I
it.
suppose that's true. However, I'm not sure that your play indicates that as an outcome. That's actually foregone. You wouldn't spend a bunch of shit just to stun 5-drop Kang with no follow-up. So, even if you had not...
Maybe I could still get Growing Man with turn X's. You never know.
You would have led with that. Maybe not. Yeah, I would not see that coming. It's far more likely you've saved him as a written character for a KO. And now, having said that, can I do anything about it? Well, yes, I'm playing Kang. But everything with Kang is very expensive. So I would need 6 defense. That is the number of defenses I would need. And that's not even a sure thing. You could have another Scree. You could have another Harlequin, though. You would need a way to discard her.
I have a way to discard anything. Well, I have a way to discard a Gotham Knights character card, which are also Arkham inmates.
Right. Right on. What would a foil even get me?
Not a lot. That's what I'm banking on.
Right, like... That kind of
I mean,
sucks.
I spend a lot of my cards. You'll spend a lot of your cards, but it doesn't like change the board state much or anything.
Yeah, it's funny because I would be doing it not to get an advantage. I'd be doing it purely to keep you from getting an advantage. How many cards are in your hand, did you say?
3.
3 cards in your hand.
3.
3 cards in your am down life. Not meaningfully enough for me to be panicked about that. Boy, oh boy. Alright, well. Kang being Kang must be silly, so...
You're going for it. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to play the Timekeepers. Target defender you control gets +1 defense this attack. If that character is named Kang, it gets an additional...
Well, that's good. This is a good start.
+1
so
defense.
You just need 4 more.
That's really weird. I thought I had a card that I don't see anywhere, and that's very strange to me.
Was it Timekeepers?
Maybe. For some reason I thought I had 2 Timekeepers.
I did get the cards back I put in your resource row. Were you counting them?
Got the cards back.
Yeah, he was making a joke.
I see.
You are too sleepy for my humor.
I am sleepy. I mean, I could still go for it, but that gets really expensive now.
Just 3 more Kangs and return 1 to your hand, or 4 more Kangs.
Yeah. That's so strange. I thought with such certainty that I had 2 Timekeepers, and I was going to have to double Timekeepers. But that... Are you sticky? Like, is there another... No. I am clearly too sleepy. Because I must have counted Timekeepers twice. Well, do I still go for it? Boy, I don't want to lose 5-cost Kang. How bad is that for me? Boy, it's pretty bad. So, how many Kangs would I have to lose?
How many Kangs does it take?
It's so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5?
6.
6 Kangs?
Well, I'm counting up the defense. I think I have to let it go. That sucks. Ugh. That was so disappointing. I am stunned. I will deal the damage to your larger cost character.
Alright.
I take 5 damage while I'm at it. Man, I so thought I had to. That's so weird to me. I'm a sleepy man.
I'm going to discard Tallyman to draw a card. Whenever Tallyman is discarded, you may remove him from the game and exhaust an Arkham inmate's character you control. If you do, KO target stunned character.
Wow. And you get to draw a card?
Well, I'm discarding him to draw a card.
Wow. That's really good. He's really good. That basically, that's actually pretty impressive. That makes him better than most KO plot twists. He's just discard to KO. You just need that card to go with it, I guess.
Yeah, and this is Gotham Knights. This is a
sure.
complicated team up.
Yep, fair enough. And nothing I can do about it.
Okay.
At least I have a ready drawing man. I can't believe I didn't have another Timekeepers that I may or may not have.
Makes it your initiative. Oh.
That's true. That's true. I'm going to recruit Kang and Kang. Both of these Kangs have been seen before. I am, however, going to name Kang. Acrobots. Kang. Kang. You have to pick a Kang. Kang that I will pick will be... I don't know which Kang that I want. They're both pretty useful Kangs. Alright, what's the better one? No, it's not. It's that one. That's weird.
5-drop Kang is not a choice, right?
Yes, that's correct. I must use his power. So you know this turn that I will have to use his power. What you don't know is whether or not I will next turn, because I can wait and see what you do before deciding if I want to put down a 7th resource.
Well, what a dumb set of circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm going to recruit Crime Doctor and Anarchy.
That's sad. This turn's going to be a very lethargic turn. Are you formed?
Yep.
Crime Doctor just popped to your hand?
Yes, but it must be on my things.
Any of those exhaust powers, they're all your attack stuff, right?
The ones that are in play, that's correct. Did I read Crime Doctor?
You should read him.
I don't. Wait.
Okay,
we're getting super sloppy tonight.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Crime Doctor's power is return Crime Doctor to his owner's hand. Exhaust 2 target characters. Use only during your attack step.
Right. I'm gonna exhaust Catwoman, and by that I mean put a counter on Growing Man, then exhaust Catwoman. Yeah, I guess the most damage I can deal you is 3. I'm gonna attack Charaxus because well, yeah. Maybe it's better to hit Two-Face. That's weird. Is that true? I don't think Charaxus can get Growing Man. And I have removed his ability to team attack, so in a way, it's probably better to go for your stat-oriented characters, as long as I think I'm going to continue to be able to exceed Charaxus' stats. I'm going to go for Two-Face.
Very well. I will reinforce him.
No.
Take 3.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I gotta exhaust someone. I just do counters, of course. I'm going to pass should it get to me. Oh, I guess which it does, because you attack with Anarchy.
Maybe Anarchy is better than Two-Face now.
That's possible, and kind of annoying. But possible. I'm gonna name Kang. These sure aren't Kangs. Man, that has failed me twice. Damocles. Damocles. That was my initiative. Power armor. Okay. What does Crime Doctor target?
2 characters.
Any 2. That's moderately annoying.
Power armor is equipped character gets +2 attack and can attack as though it had flight.
Well, I think that might force my hand. Well, does it? No, it doesn't. That's really weird. That's really weird. That's really weird. I love Kang so much. I'm gonna not put down a resource.
Cool.
Then I'm gonna recruit 5 cross Krang.
5 cross Krang.
5 cross Krang.
5 cross Krang is the worst Krang.
And then I'm gonna exhaust both of them. Put 2 counters on Growing Men.
That's a big growing man.
Also, Charaxus and Catwoman are exhausted. 2 can play this exhaust game.
It's exhausting.
Anarchy is not exhausting.
Sorry.
Man, I'll put 2 more counters on Growing. I am enjoying this match. It is stupid.
I'm not sure how to break this stalemate.
My secret is that over the next 37 turns of you hitting my growing man with your anarchy, I might surprise you and hit you for 1, thus causing your demise.
My draw sure is not being helpful.
Yep. Now it is my initiative. That's cool. So you'll be excited to know I'm going to play a resource this turn.
I am very excited to know that. Actually.
Indeed. And then I'm going to recruit Kang. 7 cost Kang. 7 cost. 7. Why am I throwing R's in words? 7 cost Kang.
You got him from Peeus.
It comes full circle. Is not unique. Also, at the start of the combat phase, the controller of target visible character moves it to his hidden area.
Interesting.
I do need to think about my formation for a moment. Is this correct? Might be correct. Gigantic growing man. Forever exhausted. Forever alone. Yep, we're just gonna leave it like that, I guess.
I'm gonna discard Catwoman and draw a card. I recruit Calendar Man?
Calendar Man!
Calendar Man's power is activate, draw a card, discard a card at random for each character adjacent to Calendar Man, use only during the combat phase.
It's legit.
Situation is bad.
I do need to exhaust someone right out of the gate because of KG Beast.
Nope, it's your initiative.
It's my initiative. Excellent. I do not need to exhaust anyone. I sure don't have flight though, so that's probably going to happen. Crime Doctor's popped a hand. KG Beast is I'm just KG Beast. Both of those characters circumvent protection. A lot of firepower. You can get through a lot of my firepower, though. That's really interesting. I'm only gonna get probably 1 attack.
That doesn't seem right.
Well, let's say I attack with Kang. Let's pick a target. Let's assume maybe I go for Charax.
You move Calendar Man to my concealed area.
I do get to move someone.
And you attack Crime Doctor with 7-drop Kang or 5. It doesn't even matter who you attack.
I do move somebody concealed. And it definitely is going to be one of your characters. That's probably the better play. I don't have flight. I can move someone hidden. Yeah. You are right. Okay.
I have to play both decks? Come on, Kyle.
We will hide Calendar Man, though that does allow you to fire his power every turn. With relative safety, that's still the right play. It's the only way I'm going to whittle down your characters. Then this 5-cost Kang will attack Crime Doctor for as printed values.
I'm going to draw a card.
Sure. Yeah, I sure should have just thought of that. I might have, but I'm tired enough I may have grown impatient with myself and done something particularly silly. My other play would have drawn this game on perhaps longer than should have been. We still both have a hell of a lot of life. Still got a hell of a lot of life. Calendar man, calendar. You can't calendar, anyone can. Calendar man, calendar man. Bald for no reason, calendar man. What do you think the odds are we'll have an Ashes game under 2 hours this weekend?
Not good.
Certainly not good.
I will take 9.
Okay, I'm with you. Interesting. You've done some mathing, or you would not have allowed that attack to swing.
Please exhaust a ready character you control.
I'm going to exhaust 1 drop. Okay.
I'm going to team attack 7 drop Kang.
It's a legit play.
I'm going to do that. There's other things I could do.
That's not a bad thing.
No, that's the thing to do. It is the thing to do. My attack is 16.
16. Well, that does beat me by 1. I am going to put a counter on Grogman. Well, now's the time to play Timekeepers. Target defender control gets +1 attack. If that character is named Kang, it gets an additional 1. No, 1 ahead of you.
Activate. Discard a card at random. Target inmate's attacker or defender you control gets +3 attack. I will choose Anarchy, because why not?
Why not indeed?
There's one in here that would be really nice. I would like you to choose it, Kyle.
Out of the 3 or 4? Well, I've had a good streak of picking interesting stuff. I will select this card on the end. It was all by itself and wanted to be
Hope
selected.
it's Tallyman. Oh, I did not get to use Tallyman.
I am glad to see him go. Okay. So you're 3 over. Now, to contribute to my psychosis, I'm going to play the Timekeepers. And you have a second one this time. That's 2 more, and then I'm going to power up once. So that is +2 more and a 3rd.
Do we have a single power up?
Do have another Kang I can get rid of, and so I shall.
This is it for me.
Oh no!
Do you have another power up?
Oh my god! Getting into costly Kang territory.
You get Kangs on the table that are free.
That's true. That's true. I will spend 1 of those Kangs.
I'm going to discard your access to draw a card. I hope it's worth like 5 attack. It's not.
Oh, Kangs. I will say this. It doesn't matter every game to the magnitude that it mattered this game, but Spheres of Solitude saved my ass. Because Charaxus would have picked me apart viciously had I not prevented him from team attack.
I think it's recruiting 3 5-dropped Kangs that saved
Well,
your
that
ass.
didn't hurt.
Oh, that was painful to deal with. And the thing is, my deck stops recruiting characters at 5.
Yeah, that's true.
We're stalling to like 11. This isn't going to go well for me.
There's going to be a point at which this will no longer be useful. I realized that on, I think, turn 7. I didn't quite think of that. I didn't remember if you escalated further.
Nope, that was it.
And then we got up to 7, and I'm like, he hasn't recruited anything past. This might be that deck. This is
usually I don't need. Usually when I exhaust your team, it's disadvantageous to you.
Yep, that's true. I do think it would have been a very different game if I had not prevented you from getting drunk. I mean, just think of how much damage I saved myself by him sitting there and being big.
I wonder if I should have gone for him.
Yeah, maybe not. It's tough to say. I mean, then I would have had 3 5-cost Kangs, but I would have been down a Growing Man. It's tough to say. I think the combo of the Exhaust and Charaxus is very, very scary. So being able to hold that at bay, especially when you get the pieces right out of the gate. Man, I felt so good making you get rid of Charaxus, but...
Good night, Chris. Thank you for sticking it out. I think we missed him by a couple minutes. That's okay.
Thank you for joining the parties.
Yeah, he stayed with us almost the whole way this time.
Yeah, he only left like 4 minutes ago. That's pretty solid.
Woof.
I do enjoy any time I play Kang and something a little bit weird has to happen, which is most of the time. So, like, yes, I'm not going to recruit my 7-drop. I'm just going to keep playing 5-drop ones and not play a resource because it's a hateful thing to do.
You had a lot of cards for not having your draw.
Yeah, Damocles base fired enough that it kept me up. There are 2 draw pieces. Damocles is one, and actually is the less reliable one. And then the other one is the 4-drop.
It's pretty solid.
It's solid. Like, they're both good, don't get me wrong. Damocles base is solid for sure. Though it whiffed twice, which is pretty
wow, that is
uncommon.
crazy, yeah.
But it was still enough to get me ahead, 3 or 4 cards, which is enough to be pressuring at the end. My very opening hand had a 1-drop Kang, but then it had 3 cards that there's just no way that I was going to get to play consequentially, like anytime in the near future. So when I ditched that and immediately drew a Growing Man and then no low drops, I'm like, oh, I should have kept the 1-drop, but it filled in by the time I got to 4.
I missed one opportunity to draw one extra, or to deck cycle one extra card. That was what I said, oh, I should have, and then it was like too late. And I was hemming and hawing, like, all of the cards I had in my hand were, I think they were all power-ups, so I was like, I'm not sure which I should get rid of, and that's why I was hemming and hawing and then forgot to do it.
Kang's powers are so funny because, like...
You're the one guy who's like, no power. Actually.
And I repeatedly thought about whether or not I should bring him in, but it gave you a fair shake to go after at the end because you were able to power up a couple extra times. I don't know. Kang, I feel like he's greater than the sum of his parts, in a way. Just like, he's always got just the right annoying answer to just the right situation. He's not perfect. There's a reason he's not an S tier. And the stuff that he does is solid, but not spectacular. He has almost no spectacular plays, but every play is solid once you get up to turn, like, 4. So you just gotta try to not take as much a beating. And then there was weird stuff like the one turn I did have to do a bunch of stuff just to keep you from getting through my visible character. I would have taken 10 extra damage. And I felt like that was pretty meaningful. Or actually, it might have been 13 extra because you would have stunned a character for 3. And then I don't know. It's weird. I enjoy Kang. Kang always has interesting pieces on the board. Always has pieces. I'm sorry Richter's a jerk. I'll look and see if I can sub him out for something. And like I said, he's definitely a really good character, but I think he plays especially harsh against some of your decks more than others, but all of them have linchpin face-up resources. None of them are just like fire and forget resources. And a couple of my S decks actually are fire and forget. Like the plot twist deck, for the most part, wouldn't care about.
He would almost be balanced if it was like face down resources.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then I could accidentally burn useless stuff, and yep.
And then you don't pick and choose what you get.
Right. Right. No, there's ways they could have balanced him. He was from crazy power creep mode, and their thinking was probably, against the other affiliations in this set, he's much less broken. But of course, you know, because his stats again are average, he must be in the front row to attack with him anyway. But yeah, he just has no limiters, can do it unlimited times a turn, and goes in an affiliation where, like, the really problematic thing, especially against that deck, against the ongoing plot twist deck, is if you could overwhelm me and I'm only replacing one a turn, that would suck for you. But it would, like, the thing that you have to be afraid of when dealing with Richter is that I decide that instead of doing the Proud Star thing, I'm just going to attack and then flip everything and replace everything you flip. So you have to do it in one, and it's just obnoxious. It is obnoxious. I know he's obnoxious, and I unlike Man-Thing and many of the other things I play, I actually feel a little bad when I play him, especially in the circumstances. Every time I play him, you've played something that's kind of critical to the deck, or I'm like, fuck, he's just gonna. You have to do so much to dance around him, even if he doesn't.
Well, he's the kind of card you don't like. Is there's no counter to him.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I don't like him. I put him in. It's so funny because, you know, when I was building the deck, I was not thinking, oh, he's going to counter Ian's S-Decks. It's just like, I need a 4-drop. He's a little bit durable because his 8 stat is on defense.
Well, I built the deck around resource replacement because it's so potent, but mine's a hay deck.
Right, totally. No, and again, the surrounding material.
Back in the day, it was hard to do.
Yep. No, Richter makes it too easy.
You know what? The most powerful effect in the game, that should be like something you do a bunch of turn, right?
Well,
yeah. Let's
pick a character who does top 5. Most powerful is Resource KO. I've seen very few.
Sure, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But that's also ultra rare. I've seen, I don't know. There's very few characters that actually.
I only know of one.
Well, there's.
I only know of one that's imbalanced Resource KO.
There is. So there's technically Chris's deck, Antimatter. It has a version.
Oh, sure, okay.
So that's one.
Resource KO. You're right.
There is Annihilus. 8-drop Annihilus is Resource KO.
Is he?
It's not great Resource KO, but it's still Resource KO, so it's pretty freaking good. And he's seen play like twice. And I think there's one more. Doesn't like a racial rule do it?
There's a Revenge Squad character who is he Revenge Squad? I think so. Chris made a deck around him with the Masters of Evil, but he couldn't make it work. And what his power is he's a 6-drop, and you can pay a resource to KO.
Oh yeah.
And what makes him cool with the Masters of Evil is they're pay resources to fire abilities, but they have cards that are like get a resource to fire an ability. So that in combination means if you play him on turn 6, if you have the right pieces, you can KO your opponent's 6th resource.
Right. Potentially even keeping them from 6?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrifying. I do remember that. I don't remember.
But, like, you know, he has low stats. He's kind of balanced for that reason. And the deck you have to build around it to make that happen is not a really good team-up, so it's just kind of clunky.
Yeah.
One of those what do you call that? A build-around, right?
Yep, build-around, yeah. Totally. Yeah, it's interesting.
You are right. There is, it's not Ra's al Ghul. It's not even it's unaffiliated, but it's from that set. And I would put him in the League deck. It's Trigon. Trigon is a 9-drop. I love him, and it's like so rare that he would be useful. He's got good stats. I think he's a 25.
Well, he's a 9-drop. If he doesn't have good stats, what are you doing with your life?
But he's just like, I get the locations. All locations in play are now my resources.
That's hilarious.
So it's like, you know, I think probably a third of our decks have locations, but when you hit the 9, they're just like, oh, they're mine now.
That is really good. That's a great power. That's like stupid but hilarious.
And then like if you pair him with League, they have all the like KO character whose cost is less than the number of locations you control and stuff like that.
That's pretty dirty. And it happens right when he enters play?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God. So if you're playing odds, the other person just doesn't have resources, that's pretty dirty. That's, yeah. I mean, definitely, like, any kind of KO
but
power.
But games don't go to 9.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
Resource
like, you have to build a
potent.
deck to get to 9 if you want to play something on 9.
Absolutely. And that's hard, as Chris discovered with Galactus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do think that middle one made for a weak game because of that, and I don't like that. I like the conflicting powers, as I said in that deck. It's a little scattered. It's a lot of heavy offense.
Well, I don't know. It just feels like, I mean,
oh look, I'll see.
Even though I'm not, you know, whatever. It's a good deck.
Yep.
The plot twists are good, and the powers that fire are good. Like, even if you don't play for the 6 cost, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can be so devastating just by playing the plot twists earlier.
Yep.
It's a scary deck. It's a scary set.
Yeah, no, it's a scary set. It's a worthy... There's a reason that one's an S deck, for sure. All of its stuff is pretty legit.
Like, you know, it's one of those where, like, yes, I can see that you're building to that guy.
Yep.
He's a 6-drop? 7-drop.
He is a 7-drop.
But I feel like I didn't even remember him. And that's because I think you destroy anybody with that deck before he's relevant.
What I will say, what's fascinating, I mean, all that having been said, until 7, you were ahead in life, and I only got ahead on board position, I think, on 6. So it is weird. It's a weird, like, you know the threat's there the whole time. I'm sitting there with my resource row being face down is this massive looming threat. Most of which, I don't know if it's all, but most of which is offensive-oriented threat. They're a very offensive.
But you had character advantage, and I was fighting with just stats at that point.
Sure,
so
it's
there was no reason, like...
It's true. I was trying. That's very true. Like I was starting to. I probably had board advantage by 5, but you'd gotten a substantial life advantage earlier. Some of which I paid for myself because I knew how important it was to keep the threat of Richter around. So I paid 8 life to keep him in play. That's actually surprising. How
I mean, that's disappointing too, because it's rare that I can make a counterplay to him, and it's like, all right, he's gonna get this one, but then I get to get rid of him.
Right.
That's not so bad. I can play a resource down.
Yep.
And you're just like, nope. And like, oh, never mind.
8 life doesn't make you feel better, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That does explain why you were sort of nonchalant when I initially played him, though, is because you're like, well, you know, whatever. Because you're thinking I'm going to be able to take him out, but that's why, you know, you get the recovery one. I actually like that recovery card a lot, though. It's a really good card, because its price gets higher and higher as the game wears on. In terms of recovery that I've seen, I think that one's a pretty good one.
KO is so hard to play, and it's not a good card to have in my resource row either. Yeah. Which means I was able to use an Evil Stars, Evil Clutches to get it in there, but I generally don't want to play that card.
Right. What's the ongoing effect for that one? Is that the reveal?
The ongoing effect is whenever your characters go into the KO'd pile during the combat phase, you reveal the hand and discard them.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I hate that
it's like
part, though.
yeah, it's dumb.
I do hate that part.
I didn't even care about it. Yep. It's in there because it's a KO.
Yep, totally. A KO that happens to have an ongoing effect.
But I have to exhaust to play it, which means it's not a reliable card I can flip. I have to exhaust, and you have to have a stunned character.
Alright. It's not unprecedented, certainly, but it's got a cost to it. It's not as reliable as the rest of your ongoing, but you just flip on away. And that is what you like, because you like to play your insta-KO. Even though I feel a little bad with Richter, I'm always glad when I defeat the Atomic Skull and stupid 6-cost Brainiac. Oh, I hate them so much. That is one of the... It's so funny. Like, this is one of the problems, is that I feel like fighting that deck is sort of this weird... I don't know. I feel like either you absolutely obliterate me, or I counter and get ahead of your plot twist, and then you can't do anywhere near as much. I feel like it's a very swingy deck. Like, I can't think of...
Well, if you can get rid... Like, its failure condition is I don't have the plot twist. So if you can get rid of them, I lose. If I draw badly, I lose.
Right, but that's kind of my point. Is it in a way? It's not like you don't have to make technical plays, but I do feel like
it's one of my least technical decks.
Yeah, I feel like when you get your
I didn't play it for years because it's not a very interesting deck. It's interesting in the way when you feel good for having like a powerful deck.
Sure.
And that doesn't do a lot. It does a little for me, but it doesn't do a lot for me.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the consequence of that is I feel like my experience in fighting that deck is it tends to feel very hopeless a lot of the time. Like again, like you were saying, it's the very thing I frequently complain about, that you certainly rightfully complain about with Richter. But I feel like that deck is like I just don't know what to do against it.
Right.
In fact, in a way, Richter hard counters the bejesus out of it, but I don't have any other counters to that. So like when you get your draw, it just picks me apart because I can't stop characters whose powers are, I mean, Atomic Skull alone. And again, it is a deck that benefits from our rule set. It absolutely benefits from our rule set. But even so, it's very, very challenging. I think you've got that one. You've got Kinetics, and what's the other S?
Big dudes.
Big dudes.
Just Arkham inmates, Revenge Squad team up.
The last time you
like
played them,
really big
they
stats.
crushed me. That was one of the most crushing I've ever seen. There's a lot of times I fought them. Generally, I would say I'm okay.
But they don't do it. They're non-technical either. They're
Right.
just like, my dude's big. They're really big.
Right.
You can't attack my dudes and not be stunned.
Right.
Period.
Really big. But yeah, the last time you played them, boy, they were effective. That was the one I think you won on 5. Like, I was just like, well, but the vast majority of the time, I feel like that one has the potential to be a better match. And then even the Kinetics one, even though I gripe about it, and I feel like with Kinetics, the potential for an interesting game is there if I'm able to match your early drops. If I get my early drops and you get your early drops, I haven't hard countered you, but I feel like I'm in it and can keep it interesting the whole way.
I don't feel hard counter. Like, the only hard counter there is, again, if you get Richter out and you pop my team up, which is really important.
Sure.
Last game I struggled because I didn't get the team
Sure.
up. Or you pop Kandor, which is also important.
That is important. But yeah, like fighting against the Kinetics, I almost always feel like I'm at a disadvantage there against that deck. But if I can keep pace with you, I feel like if I play hard enough, get the right cards, maybe if you slip up a little, because it is a technical deck, that I can overcome that one. And I do feel like it's a struggle. I always feel like that is an uphill battle. But that Atomic Skull one, when Atomic Skull starts Atomic Skulling, it just is a pretty brutal face beat where I just feel like, man, every turn I'm going to not be able to do anything and you're just going to get a free character with your Peewee. And I know there starts to be a point where he's a liability, but usually by that time I've been face
So here's the thing. I mean, yes, he's a shitty character. He's a resource behind.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
Right? He can't get a character on curve. Right?
Right, that's true.
He's 2-drop, which means there's a good chance I'm not going to have him on 2. He's
right
behind curve on stats, which means I don't want to recruit him if I can't protect him.
Sure.
If I don't have initiative.
Yeah.
So you're gonna. I'm trying to play evens because that's how the deck works.
Sure.
So you're gonna see him 2, 4, or 6. You're not gonna see him 1, 3, or 5 ever.
Right. Unlikely, yeah.
And if I play him on 4, it means I'm not playing Metallo.
Right.
And that he's better probably, but Metallo is a really important character because I don't have big attackers in that deck.
Right.
I don't have characters that fight you normally in that deck.
Right.
That's part of the problem.
And Mattel's attack is useful in that regard. Yeah. I mean, there's a fair case to it. It's not like...
But he's rough,
yeah,
especially when I have also the 6th drop.
Yeah, and if you're able to otherwise generally play on curve, so it's sort of like your big curve character takes my big curve character and we trade, and that's fine, but then your 2-drop takes my 5-drop, or my 6-drop, or whatever, and that's what makes it so rough. And I know that's what the deck's supposed to do.
Well, it's like the counter is you have to match me, like you said. Like
I have to match that early game. At least.
Turn 2, I get your 1-drop.
Right.
With him, if I've played flawlessly. If you have a 1 and a 2, I get a hit. Turn 3, I get your 2-drop, and then if you can stop my 3-drop from fighting your 3-drop, if you have any plot twist, then you've got it. Yep. There's nothing I can do.
Well, it's tricky. And then, I mean, ultimately...
I'll keep him. I'll lose my 3-drop. Right, I was going to say, you lose the 3-drop. But then I'm behind on the, like, way behind on the stats on the board.
Yep. Well, yeah.
So that's the trick. Turn 3, don't let my 3-drop get your 3-drop.
Yep. It's sometimes easier said than done.
It is, totally. That's not a foregone conclusion. I mean, like, protecting characters in that way is not something this game lets you do much.
Sure. More so than S-Decks, I suppose. But yeah, even then there's the problem that, like, then we go to 4, and, like, yes, it's true I might start to have stat advantage, but the whole point of Atomic Skull is that he negates stat advantage. So, he's a hole to dig out of. I mean, there's a reason that I consider the deck him, in a sense. It's an ongoing plot twist deck, but Atomic Skull is always my biggest fear. And Brainiac is next biggest, but at least you got to work your way up to him.
Well, he activates.
And he activates, that's right. So you get to pick between, I just kill something, which is pretty awesome, or I get to use my 6-drop stats, which is also pretty awesome.
He should have been discard, probably.
6-cost Brainiac?
No, 2.
Oh, it's 2? Yeah, that would have been fine. That would have totally been fine. Just give him something. He's got nothing. It's a free, right?
So I have to reveal a Revenge Blood character.
Right.
I've been in situations where I couldn't, but I think it's once.
Yeah, I mean, there are other ways you could have... Yeah, I could have been discard. Discard is pretty expensive. So I'm trying to think if there's something you could have done that's, like, not discard.
Well, activate's too cheap. Activate another character, maybe? Like, exhaust another character.
I mean, honestly, even activating would make me feel a little better.
Sure.
Because when you get to fire him for free, yeah, you're probably not attacking with him.
And you get to keep him as a reinforcer.
Yeah, you get to keep him as a reinforcer, or to trigger other powers that require activation. So even activation, and I'd feel a little better. He'd still be really effing good, but I'd feel a little better all the same. Well, we've had some good commentary. We annoyed Chris and Casey by talking about Ashes.
Annoyed them, you think?
Well, I always feel like there's a little disgruntlement at our disgruntlement, but I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining that. It is in text.
Yeah, I can see that a little. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they want from us. It's like, we're playing the game, we're telling you about the game we're playing.
Yep, we're playing it on the recommendation of them. I suppose we could leave it at, well, we played the game you recommended. Well, moving on.
See you later. Thanks for stopping by.
It's been fun. Yeah. But nonetheless,
we should call it.
Good stream.
I think we're okay for next Friday. Yeah?
Yeah, Friday should be good.
Oh, you know what I didn't mention, and nobody's here to hear it anymore?
Nope, they sure aren't. But you can mention it.
I think that I know when my game is going to be announced. I can't announce it.
You can't announce.
It's going to be announced soon.
You can't announce when your game's going.
No, that's not true. I can.
Oh, okay.
I think it's going to be announced in September's Nintendo Direct.
Oh. Well, congratulations. I'll hope to see it then.
So that will be when... And that's not a certainty, but there's a chance that's when that will be happening.
Right on. That's great news.
Yep.
It's good to have light at the end of the tunnel in many ways. Yep. One of the lights, I guess.
Speaking of, we should call it so I can go home and get sleep and go back to work tomorrow.
Yay. Well, and I'm catching up from crunch myself. You have a good night, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us, and have a great weekend.